I hope you're enjoying this look at creating black and white images or black and white photography in Photoshop. I'm going to show you two more techniques because the techniques that I showed you in the previous exercise, as cool as some of them were, again, we didn't have much control over the process, did we? Again, we didn't really get dialog boxes or sliders or options or anything like that, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you two more techniques here. I'm going to take the gradient map adjustment layer that you and I had created in the previous exercise, and I'm going to delete them just by dragging them down to the trash can icon down at the bottom of the layers palette. And of course, that takes us all the way back to where you and I had started. Now, next up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a command called Channel Mixer to create a black and white image. So what I'm going to do is I will head up to the image menu and then down to Adjustments and then look for Channel Mixer. There he is right there. Go ahead and grab that guy. Okay, that brings you into this guy here. He might look a little bit intimidating at first, but he's actually pretty easy to use. He's pretty straightforward to use. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on this monochrome option down at the bottom, and boom, we got a black and white image just like that. The only thing that bothers me is the dialog box is a touch on the large side, so you kind of have to move them out of the way so you can actually see your photo. But there we go. There's our image. Now, what's cool here at this point is we can use our three sliders here. We have red, green, and blue. So what I can do here is I can isolate and affect just the blues inside my photo, or the former blues, I guess you could say. I could make them brighter, or I can make them darker, right? Really dark. And I can do the same with my greens. Again, isolating those greens. And same, obviously, with the reds. So I can really mess around here, and I can really spend some time and, fiddle with my sliders and get it looking, exactly the way I want. Personally, I like really dramatic looking black and white images, maybe something like this. And from that point, what I could do is I could take this constant slider, and of course, I could mess around with him as well. Again, talk about, drama. There we go. That looks pretty cool, pretty stunning, right? What I'm trying to do as well, by the way, if you're sitting there going, what does he mean by drama? It's a photo. There's no drama in photos. Sure there is. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get, it's all about contrast to me. I'm trying to get my darks really dark, and I'm trying to get my whites really white. I want a big contrast between the two, right? And I'm really not being, scientific about it. I'm just goofing around. Messing around with my sliders here until it looks good, right? That's really the idea. That's what it's all about. Okay, so you can mess around with your sliders. That's just fine. Or what you can do is you can mess around with the options found inside the preset drop-down menu. So inside the preset drop-down menu, we have black and white infrared, RGB. So I'm going to choose that guy, and I get this kind of a result. Or I could try some of the others. Black and white with blue filter. I see how that looks. Or I could try any of the others. Orange filter, yellow filter, red filter. You get the idea, right? You can come in here and see what there is and see if it perhaps would be a decent starting point for you. Anyway, so there you go. I think what I'm going to do here, though, is I'm going to set some values for the red, green, and blue sliders. I'm going to set the red slider to 0, and the green slider to 100, and the blue slider also to 0, something like that. And I'm just going to drag my constant slider down just a little bit to the left there, about -5, -7, something like that. There we go. Looks pretty cool. Go ahead and click on OK. That's all there is to it. Now, the only issue that I have with this is it's a destructive command. So in other words, I've now changed my image permanently. I suppose I should save it as a copy or something like this, right? But the next technique that I want to show you is actually, once again, another non-destructive technique. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue this discussion. I want to show you this last technique for creating black and white photos in the next exercise. So I'll catch up with you there.